Okay, so for the people that aren't here on Thursday, this is what we're doing. First, I want you to go to our last podcast, our Tuesday podcast, and go to the time 17:05 to 26:40, and finish the questions on page 35. You may have finished them. If you haven't, if you've done example 3 on that page, then don't worry about it. If you stopped at example 2, then you need to go to the last podcast, page or minute 17:05 to 26:40. So do that first, and then come back to this one. Pause. I'm not pausing. I'm just saying pause. Thank you. Oh yeah. Before I even see it. November. He supported Mr. Hassett already for his charity fundraising. Yeah. Okay, after that, we're going to page 36, and we're going to do 8 and 10. So everyone, let's go there and do this. Okay, first of all, you guys on the quest, when we had that stars one, we had G and H. You guys substituted a number to find out how many stars there were and what figure number, and then H, some of you did the exact same thing. It was a different question. So for this one, you do not substitute 43 for X. Okay, so that's wrong. So just write this down, write down the wrong answer, so sometimes that helps us. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. That is only if I ask you for F of 43. And I realize that these look the same, but they're not the same. F of 43 means X equals 43. Okay, remember F of X, if there's any number in the bracket, that's your X value. That's what you substitute for X. This one does not say F of 43. It says F of X equals 43. So you don't do that. Half the time you do substitution in the formula, half the time you do not. So don't just do it every time, because you're going to get half of your answers wrong. This one says F of X equals 43. So this equals 43. Okay, so study star this one. You're going to have these questions too. I lied. You probably have 1/3 of these, 2/3 of the ones where you just substitute. But you need to know the difference. I'm not asking you for F of 43 here. I'm saying F of X equals 43. So wherever you see F of X, you replace it with 43. Now you need to know how to solve this. Okay, this is grade 7, and you have to know how to do this. You can't guess. You can't leave it blank. This is solving by opposite operation. And I call this, when I teach in grade 7, I call this an add or subtract first question. Okay, first of all, you gotta get X by itself by doing the opposite of what's with X. Okay, so the opposite of what's with X, you gotta do the opposite of subtract 3, subtract 7, which is add 7, and you gotta do the opposite of 5 times, which is divide by 5. You need to know what to do first. Hold on, how can I move this? Let me get rid of the red now. Okay. Okay. So, you can guess. Another way of saying it is before we get X by itself, you'll get 5X by itself. But you have to know what to do here. You can't guess anymore. Okay, so add 7, everyone, and then divide by 5. And it works out every time. Add 7 and divide by 5. Yes? Because if I said find F of 43, it's similar, but these are different, right? They look the same, but they're different. This one says F of X equals 43, so that turns into 43. This one says F of 43, so wherever you see X, you put 43. They're similar looking, but they mean different things. Well, f of x.
Oh.
If there's a number in the brackets, that means x equals 43.
I understand now.
Okay, so you guys had a chance to do this. You add 7, you get 50 equals 5x. And now you divide by 5, divide by 5. Sorry, I ran out of room. So 10 equals x. 10 equals x. What else did you do there? I almost left your hiccup. That's your hiccup, anyway.
That was
Oh, who can I spare? Yeah. I'm going to spare her.
probably it.
Okay, so study start that. You're going to have some homework questions on that and on the stuff we just did on page 35, where you just substitute. Okay, so what's the difference? Good question, Katie. Look at, so this one's saying f of 5. So you just substitute 5 in for x. So we did that one already. If it said f of x equals 5, if it said f of x equals 5, then you would replace this with 5 and then solve, which you're not going to solve that, but that's the difference. You have to understand which one is asking for. Okay, number 10. It says the function is square root of x. So wherever you see an x, you square root it. In this case, 100 is your x, and 4 is your x. So if x equals 100, you square root 100. If x equals 4, the function is square root 4. I'll let you simplify that now on your own. Give you a minute to fully simplify that. So fully simplified is not just 10 over 2. You have to do 10 divided by 2, which equals 5. Okay, I don't want to move on anymore because the start of that new heading is a great place to start Monday's podcast. So homework is on that page, page 36. Everyone do that homework on the top. And do page 37 for homework. Sorry, I'm not sure I put my mask on there. So page 36, page 37, and 2 questions on page 38. Okay, that's homework for Monday. And that's where we're going to start correcting for Monday, and then we're going to start with function notation part 2. God bless, have an awesome day. Not you guys. Okay, see.